Hello, and welcome to Koopid. Today's video is about essentials and getting to expert mode. Here we'll show and leverage the creation of a Concierge Essential. Then we'll make a copy of the resulting workflow and begin to edit it. We'll add some decision logic inside of the workflow, and then put a calendar in place to extend the functionality of the concierge. And then finally, we'll deploy and show you the new experience. So let's start with a Concierge Essential. Here's an example of a previously created concierge example. You can select sales or support, and then you can select if you're a new or existing customer. We collect some information from the customer. And then we just displayed a message to show where we want to insert the calendar functionality. So if you go over to your portal and you click on Essentials, you can either create a new concierge, or here's the existing one that we will use for this example. So just a quick review. With concierge, you have an initial greeting, and then you have the functionality and the steps of the concierge. Here we're going to look at the sales subtree, and we have a new or existing customer selection, and then we put a placeholder that says connect to calendar. We just used a message to indicate that this is where in expert mode we're going to want to edit. And then, as with all concierge, you specify the contact information you want to collect, and then part of the other tree has an escalate to chat. So you can save your experience. Now we'll go and take a look at the workflow and copy and make some edits. You can switch into expert mode from your Essentials provider by clicking on the Advanced Expert mode. Then go into Workflow and select an existing workflow. You'll see all the concierge assistants start with a CA. Use the Design Workflow button to go into the drag and drop Expert Mode Visual XDesigner. Press Copy, and here we're going to give a new name for the workflow for the copy. This will be the one that we edit. So the existing Concierge Essentials maintains and stays intact. Now we'll add some decision logic. So within the flow, you can hold down the mouse button and move around the entire flow to see where the prompt is that you want to extend. You can follow the logic here. Here's a variable that we're setting, and then here's the prompt about sharing, and now here's the prompt about connect to a calendar. So it's this flow that we want to disconnect from the thank you message that was at the end. And now we want to connect it up into our calendar logic. So we'll move this over to get a little more space. And now we will add a conditional branch. With the conditional branch, it will check the information of a specific variable. We'll connect the node to be the next step. We will select that we want to use a variable, and we will put that variable name in here. We see that it's the A4 variable from above. Now we will use the calendar widget, so we will put two nodes to cover two different options for the calendar. You can put a title in for these nodes to help you when you're exporting data or doing analysis in the dashboard, or just as documentation within your flow to help you easily see what's occurring down this path. So one will be for new customers and one will be for existing customers. Now if you click and drag to connect this node with the question marks, this is the value of that conditional. So if the variable has new customer, we'll go down the new customer path. If the variable contains existing customer, then it will go down the other path. Now we'll look at adding the calendar functionality and configuring it. So here we're going to select under Koopid Common one of the standard plugins that we have. So we have one for scheduling. So Common Schedule is the name of this one. Click on that. And now this will use the Common Schedule plugin. Click on the little wrench on the right, and now you can select the options for this calendar plugin. So this is occurring over chat. We will select a specific calendar to use. We'll use Acme Sales, Acme New Sales. These can be configured in other parts of your system, and we'll cover that in another video. But this is a pre-configured calendar connected to another calendar system. Here we will put the variable for the customer email that we collected. These are several of the variables available from that widget. Now we will type in its subject for the calendar invite that will be sent, Acme Sales Meeting. And then you can change some of the messages and actually the content that will go within the invite. Depending on your calendar integration, that will depend on how some of these variables are used or displayed, or if you have any stock standard information there. Here we'll use the variable within the text, so you see the double curly braces in the A4 is how you use a variable. And now we will do the same thing for the other calendar leg. We'll select the calendar plugin called Common Schedule, and now click on the wrench for configuration. Chat, we should have gone back there to the default and set it to be our specific calendar. And then we select Cust Email, pick a subject for this one, and you could put variables inside of any of these spots. And now some text for that email, oftentimes a reminder, maybe links to other content. And now we have a path to go to the different calendars. So we'll save this workflow. Now to deploy this experience, since we're using a workflow, we need to link it to an inbound intent. Here we will go to create that inbound intent. We select one of the bots to connect this to, and we give it the intent a name. This is the schedule version. And we just give it at least one phrase to use to map and navigate into this. You could train the AI intent engine further to have it be true conversational intents here. Add as many phrases as you like. Now, if we go to the bots page, you will see inside of that Essentials bot the new workflow that we've exposed. Click on the icon to get the deployment options, copy the link, and now you can go and paste that link inside of your browser to test. You see new customer, existing customer. We will select existing, and now we'll collect information. As you saw, these go into variables that you can use within the workflow. And now the calendar is brought up, and this calendar is linked to a live calendar such as Calendly or Google Calendars, and it has the times represented. I select a day and time, and now the schedule is confirmed. And that will end up in your connected calendar system. So let's go clean up and get rid of that test prompt that we had there. So we will reconnect the lines, disconnect the test prompt, select the prompt, and then just press delete. You can multiple select nodes and then move them around as a block. And now we'll save the changes. If we go back to our workflow, we select sales, existing customer, and now you see that prompt, or now you're prompted to enter in your info like before. And now it goes right into the calendar. We'll select another date and time for another meeting, confirm, and now the confirmation message. And that's all there is to moving an Essential into Expert mode and connecting a calendar. Thank you very much.